Unfortunately, what you're about to hear is real. The members of this radio program are simply not that bright, or what some people would call educated. They are merely stupid. They're not trying to offend anyone on purpose. And all have played doctors on TV. You have been warned and are cordially invited to join the party. This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
This is the men's room with Miles and Thrill. You know what they say, shake your radio more than 3 times, and you're playing with it. You're listening to the men's room.
Welcome to show number 2,809. Along with Steve the Thrill Hill, the Ted Smith, Woman Fox, and my cock. And you are in the men's room. On tap today, Mitchell, it's the last day of Weed Week.
Weed Week.
The return of Ted versus the FCC. Here come the bad jokes. Get ready to play Profile This. Plus headlines, the men's room shot of the day, funnable listener emails, and everyone's favorite TV time with Ted.
Click, clack.
Drinking and drunk. All right, here we go. Florida County Commissioner busted paying for having sex with man's wife twice a week. Meanwhile, a California man steals a beer truck in his boxers that show his patriotic streak. Canadian chocolate company business booming because it tastes like butt. Hidden camera in bathroom adds to another punch in coffee chain's gut. And Oxford scientists realized their dodo was assassinated. That is all coming on today's very special episode of The Men's Room.
And now, here's the question.
Hola, bitches. Good day to you and yours. All right, we've all heard the advice/warning to never ask a woman, quote, when she's due, unless you know for a certainty that she's pregnant. And we've talked about that very thing on this very show. Asking a woman, when are you due, it is a catastrophically bad idea. But that's also why that particular question made a top 5 list during a Reddit discussion about innocent questions that secretly crushed you inside. And we'll share the rest of the top 5 coming up, but honestly, none of them will surprise you. But it happens. You say the wrong thing. You don't mean to, but you did. And there's a bunch of reasons it might happen. Sometimes you just don't recognize the situation, or maybe you've been misinterpreted. Maybe you mispronounce a word. Or in the world of texting, God forbid, you get auto-corrected. Because when it comes to being auto-corrected, let's face it, you might find yourself explaining, no, I meant Coke. I shook my Coke until it exploded. True story. We'll share it in a few minutes. But words, look, they can fail us. Sometimes someone's words fail them when they're talking to you. Sometimes those words fail you when talking to someone else. And that's what today's question is. When did words do you or someone else dirty?
Be part of the big show. Call 844-999-OLA. You can like the Men's Room on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Men's Room Live. And send those emails to the Men's Room at mensroomlive.com. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Over Charles and away we go. Welcome to show number 2,809. What a large and a charge program do we have for you today as we wrap up our final day of Weed Week. Bad jokes on the way, the return of Ted versus the FCC, and another round of Profile This. Today we're going to talk about some words as well on the question. And words sometimes can get you in more trouble than not.
Yep.
Whether those words are spoken, whether they are written, whatever the deal is, at times you can say the wrong words at the wrong times, and although maybe you did not mean to say what you said or to text what you text, what came out was completely the wrong thing.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes just mispronouncing things. I worked as a host for like 3 months, and I realized you don't know if people are couples, you don't know if they're there for business, so you just called everyone folks. You just call them folks, you don't say couple, whatever. So just folk, and the one time it came out where it sounded like I said the F-bomb, it's just how it came out of my mouth. The guy kind of smiled about it. The woman that was with him, I just remember she had her arms folded and looked disgusted. She was convinced that I said it on purpose, and I didn't. But there was nothing you could do, so I'm debating, like, do I apologize or does that make it worse? So I just let it go, but...
Yeah.
But basically, I was turned around and said, all right, you Fs, your table's ready. But that's not what I meant. It's just, that is how it came out of my mouth, man.
I told you door-to-door sales. I asked a lady if her dad wanted one, and she was like, that's my husband.
Oh.
See, that's why, right? Because you just don't know.
I mean, good for that dude.
Right. But that's not good for her.
No, and honestly, he was not doing well. He was like, like the people that are sick and like in a wheelchair with a blanket over them.
Yeah.
So, right. It was just awful.
Yeah, I've seen the.
She still bought a coupon book. I was
Did
good.
she?
All right. Okay. All right.
That's a salesman.
You know
right
what?
there.
I think that's probably half of it. Is
That's
just
my husband. Then you say, what's he worth?
we make assumptions.
I mean, right?
We make assumptions.
I mean, come on. I just made an assumption there. Like, come on, what is he worth?
Well, my money says you weren't knocking on the richest neighborhood doors, were you?
Yeah, probably not.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know where I live.
Maybe. I mean, like wherever you were working. I mean, they take you to a neighborhood and drop you off, but they don't drop you off at a gated neighborhood or anything like that. It's not
No, they don't let people like me in.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's a gate on there for a reason. Keep us out.
Especially if you're a door-to-door salesman.
Yeah, especially then, right?
Yeah.
But there are a lot of assumptions that I think that you just kind of make based on your own experience in life.
Well,
and
sure.
sometimes that could work to your advantage, and sometimes it could be just an absolute awful failure. There was a point in time, and we bring this story up a lot, but when we were on the air in Baltimore, and keep in mind, when I grew up, man, I worked at a radio station when I was in like high school. And I worked in a radio station all through college. And the one radio station that I worked at in particular, I ran the Pittsburgh Pirate baseball games and the Steeler football games, the Pittsburgh Steeler football games. And growing up, there was nothing else. It was like the Harry Carey of Chicago. In Pittsburgh, it was Myron Cope.
Myron Cope.
And Myron Cope, in my mind, was everything that you wanted to be in broadcasting without the Gilbert Gottfried type voice,
Except for the
his
voice.
looks and everything else. But he was legendary. You know what I mean?
So
Like,
that's just his
you
voice.
want to be this guy, right? But
everything about him is what you want, bro, except how he sounds and how he looks.
Right, exactly. Because he had this accent where Myron could pretty well only work in Pittsburgh. Not that there was a problem with that, but you could never put Myron on a national broadcast because no one would be able to understand what the hell Myron Cope is saying. Like,
sure.
Even Lou Holtz with his teeth falling out, it's easier to comprehend than Myron Cope is if you're not from Pittsburgh.
He's trying to say Steelers.
Steelers coming out, my teeth are falling out, but you still know he's saying the Steelers. He just sounds like he's maybe panning for gold. If you just come on down here, you'll never know what you find in these creeks and streams.
Something special about these Irish.
Right. But Myron had this thing like he was in here somewhere. And he was just, and he'd bitch, and he'd get all hypered up, and he'd get frickin'. So, but...
And wasn't he famous for having like sayings that didn't really mean a ton?
Oh yeah, he
about
would
the
say
weird
stuff.
Food combinations.
He would
or something?
say, he would say all kinds of stuff, and not much different than like, I don't know, who's the guy for the Pens? I think his name is Mike Lang. Maybe I don't know. He just stuff comes out of his mouth like somebody else shoot it. Go, oh, who's eating chicken tonight? Right. You're like, what the hell does that have to do with it?
And I will say the NFL broadcast in every town. I think people have a special relationship with the person that does that.
They do.
Oh,
the
absolutely.
play-by-play.
And this guy was legendary, and he did it for a while with...
and you respected him.
Yeah, Jack Fleming, and then after that with Bill Hillgrove for a
You
while.
loved
Either
this
way,
guy.
this is the guy. Like, this is the guy, man. I spent every moment, basically... Well, not every moment. The Pirates had different guys doing the broadcast, but the Steelers were all Myron Cope. And Myron Cope would go to the locker room, he would do all the stuff, he was on television, he was a legend. So... we get the opportunity, and what I believe what was going on is because we were involved with the Ravens, what we would do every week on the show is we would have the broadcaster, one of the more entertaining broadcasters from the team that the Ravens were playing that week on the air to talk to them about the team coming in, and then we just talk about crap or whatever. Right. So the Ravens are getting ready to play the Steelers. We have Myron Cope on. This is going to be awesome.
We get. I remember a meeting where there was like a warning, like don't mess around, and you're like, dude. I love this guy. Like, I respect him. I wouldn't mess around with Myron Cope.
And you need to understand, if you know anything about Miles, the reason we have these meetings is because Miles F's with everyone all the time, pretty relentlessly, right? So
not that bad.
No. So when we have these meetings, they weren't talking to me and Ted. I mean, they call us all in there, so you're not, like, singling anyone out. But it was understood, like, Miles,
right?
Man, don't do you.
I've tamed down a lot.
Just talk to this guy.
I know. I can't even believe they said that.
But right. But honestly, in all the years we worked together, it's one of the few times you're like, absolutely not. Mm-hmm. This is a guy who I have unwavering respect, and I just want the opportunity to talk to him.
Let's assume that what they say is, and I can't remember who it was that got us a hold of Myron Cope. Let's just assume they say, hey, guys, you have 15 minutes to talk to Myron Cope that day, all right? So we do. We interview Myron Cope. He's a great guy. We're having a wonderful conversation. He's telling all these old stories. And now that 15 minutes has gone into 20, 25 minutes, Myron's still talking to us. Mm-hmm. This is good.
Right, really
because
cool.
It's entertaining. The interview is going further than it should as far as the time, but it's all, interesting, and it's a great interview. And then all of a sudden, because sometimes you really think you're just going to get him for 15 minutes. Now we're like at 35 minutes. Either way, I can't remember what exactly it was, but
he had to run.
He said, "Hey guys,
he apologized.
I'm sorry, got to go, whatever." I went to Baltimore instead of Pittsburgh, but he goes, "I got to get off the phone," and we said, "Understood, Myron. Thank you so much."
He said, "I really have to go. I'd love to talk more, but I'm in a bit of a hurry."
I'm in a bit of a hurry.
This is specifically what he told us.
We said, Myron,
not we, you.
I said, Myron,
you.
I think it was Steve that said, "Hey, Myron." Oh, yeah. He said, I go, "Thank you so much, Myron. Tell the lovely wife, we said hello, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, the legendary Myron Cope."
Well, he hasn't hung up the phone yet.
No, he's still there. And he says, "Well, guys, actually, That's where I'm going right now. It's the anniversary of
10-year anniversary of my wife's death. I'm going to go put flowers on her grave."
And we're like,
you were like, "Tell the wife hello."
We were like, man, we were fine.
I mean, this thing was on point for 35 minutes. This interview was great. And then at the very end, man, I mean, I don't know, it almost looked like when John Ryan tried to throw that ball.
Right.
It was just like, football! And the ball's out of my hand, and it was a scramble for
and we had never brought
and the
up.
ref jumps in the pile.
We had never brought up his life. We had never brought up anything. You just had
I don't know why
to
it
do
came
that.
out of my mouth. Because
his wife had never come up.
At the time, he's
35 minutes.
He's 85 years old anyway. What
Tell your wife, we said.
Right.
Actually, fellas, it's the 10-year anniversary of her death.
And I'm going to put flowers on her grave.
I think you just got too familiar.
And I mean, my hands.
Trying to be like, "Hey, buddy, tell your wife I said hello."
We just go,
"Hey, she's dead."
We and now the bumper music's playing to go to commercials and stuff, and I've just got my hands in my head. I'm like, oh God, and my gut hurts. Like, oh God. You're like, we'll be right back.
You couldn't have made a worse statement on a worse day at a worse moment.
And then,
it's not even just that it's the 10-year anniversary.
It's horrible.
It's that the reason he needs to go is because he has to go deliver the flowers to the grave.
Now, again,
and then you brought her up.
Is a guy that I worship. I worship this guy. He's one of the reasons that I'm sitting there doing radio at the time. I did his show growing up.
He'll never know it.
You know what I mean? It'd be like listening to Dr. Demento. There's all these different people, and he's one of those guys. You know what I mean? I finally get a chance to talk to this guy.
Let's see, I wouldn't ask Dr. Demento anything about his personal life.
Yeah, exactly.
Just on the opportunity.
Hey, how's the son doing? He has cancer.
Right.
I just
don't say it.
Right, exactly.
If you say it, I'll talk about it.
Over time, I've learned to get better about that. But we all know, man, sometimes it's just hard.
But you've done it again. Who else
know.
was
I've
it?
done it a number of times.
8 times.
Look.
Not we. I mean, come on, man.
Right, then it's we.
You.
It's me. It is absolutely me.
And this is our joke about Schrodinger's cat. You have some philosophical experiment, right? It's about observation. You open this box.
God.
Is the cat alive or is it dead? It depends on the observer. We're like, if it's Miles, it's dead 100% of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The cat was fine until Miles opened the box.
Seriously. Anytime anybody comes in for an interview, I've got to just bite my tongue because I'm afraid if I say something.
But it's innocent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Legitimately, you're not trying to do anything bad, but it's like you'll ask the most innocent question, and somehow that innocent question coincides with the most tragic moment in their life.
Right, exactly.
Hey, are you still collecting, 67 Mustangs? Actually, the last one I had burst into flames in my family.
Killed my girlfriend.
Oh, my God.
My girlfriend was thrown from a car.
Just don't ask
her
anything.
head was impaled in a tree.
Right.
I tried to pull her out. She was... Winded words do you or someone else dirty. 844-999-OLA.
I would say on a much lighter moment, I still like the one during a commercial break when I asked Kid Rock, I said, "Why do they call you Bob?" And he goes, "Because that's my name, Ted." And it made it worse because he name-checked me.
Oh, yeah.
One time.
Why do they call it was a ridiculous question.
Well, I did.
You go by Kid Rock, kind of a cool name. Why do they call you Bob? And in my mind, Man, you've got to know.
One day.
Like, you've got to know that's
I thought it was
his
a
name.
nickname.
I go by Kid Rock, but my friends call me Bob.
Dude, one day after work.
Or at least he's alive.
I don't know what the hell. My wife and I we were just jabbing each other about something. She called me after work, and I'm like, all right, okay, yeah, all right, okay, I'll be there. All right, and I hang up the phone, and I looked at Ted. I'm like, God damn it! If she just drives me crazy one more freaking time, blah 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 blah. I mean, I go off on this tirade to Ted, like, I cannot believe this goddamn, like I'm cussing up a storm, and me and Ted here. Miles?
Oh,
Miles. I'm still here. And I'm like, I look down, I'm like, oh, this is going to be a horrible night. This is not going to be a fun night for me. God damn technology. Like, it was just, what a bummer.
Dude,
when did
Bernie and his brother did that?
Man.
So my buddy Bernie has a family of 8, right? So he's got 7 siblings. So him and his brother are driving in their truck. They own a landscaping company. They call the other brother on speakerphone, don't hang up, and then spend 10 minutes. Let's just call the other brother, I don't know, Tim. Like,
It's his name, Tim.
I already know his name's Danny. All right. But they were like, man, Danny is a dumb son of a... Like, can you believe he doesn't do this and he doesn't do that? He can't afford that house. He's gonna be...
no.
And they went on like a 10-minute tirade about how dumb they thought their brother was. Danny didn't speak to him for like 9 months.
Wow, man.
He was pissed.
When did
But he
words
was.
do you or someone else dirty? 844-999-OLA.
That's why having ESP would suck.
Yes.
Right? I'd never want ESP. Hello, Shane. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola!
Hola.
Hello, Shane.
Hello, Miles. All right, I got a house party one. It was a family gathering for my fiance's family, and half of them are of Hungarian descent, and some of them are really well educated. They know 3-4 languages, and Spanish was one of them, and they have the food going around, and somebody goes over to the stereo, and I yell out, yes, música, música. Now, apparently, M-U-S, música, that's music in Spanish. Well, in Hungarian, mucika means vagina. So here I am on the other side of the room. I'm like, let's go, música. And all of a sudden, they start yelling at each other, in Hungarian. I don't know what's going on, but apparently I was getting ready for the lynch mob, and I didn't even know it. It was like I was at my own execution, but I didn't know what they were saying. No. And my fiance, no, it's música. He was saying something in Spanish, and they were still mad. They weren't settled down. They were ready to chop me up right there at the family party. I'm like, no.
I believe that. I was thinking, like, what if you came up like
vagina?
What if you came up like right before dinner and go like, who's hungry?
Right.
Like, oh, you can't say that. They're Hungarian.
Right.
Get some.
So again, música in Hungarian is vagina.
No, okay, so that's M-U-S. M-U-T.
M-U-T.
Mutica.
Mutica.
So when I'm
I'm from the United States of Mutica. You know what I'm saying, girl? Try that line in Hungary. See if that works out for me.
When did words do you or someone else dirty? 844-999-OLA.
Anyone else get nervous?
Oh, no. Here we go.
Oh!
I don't know where I'm going.
What the heck?
Why are you all excited about that? Just grab them.
Well, all right.
Yeah, here we go.
We just got new.
Is this a safety? We're on the air.
What do you got there, Veronica?
So, don't cuss.
We don't know what these are.
Kilo. Oh, what is this now? Oh, really? Is that what happened? Okay, here we go. How did that end up happening like that?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
We have new name cards.
Do they work?
The head of building security was listening to the show.
Are you kidding?
Oh, really?
And she heard you talking, and so she made up new name badges for you.
Okay, that's good because the person who wants to kill us and won't know who we really are.
Ted has this stupid idea that we need to have nicknames.
Yes, all right. So today I decided my nickname would be French Vanilla.
Why is
Thrill
this
would
happening?
Thrill would be Black Cherry.
No, but I did not say I wanted
You wanted
to be...
no parts of it. No. I just demanded these nickname works, and now the building has made us new ID cards where I am French Vanilla.
I'm Key
Thrill
Lime.
is Black Cherry, and Miles is Key Lime.
So now our building ID badges, in addition to our face,
Dude, we are going to drop the hottest album this summer.
Okay.
French Vanilla. Featured black cherry.
Okay.
Thank you, Veronica. That's lovely. That's wonderful. We really appreciate it. Yes, yes. Thank you for keeping everybody at bay. Good times. Okay. Good idea.
Yeah.
We'll make sure to get these up on the internets pretty quickly.
Sorry about that. We had no idea.
That caught us off guard.
I'm like, why do they have security badges?
There is a discussion on Reddit right now where people and probably some Russian bots are sharing innocent questions that someone asked that secretly crushed them a little bit inside. We will share those with you coming up. Our question, when did words do you or someone else dirty? 844-999-OLA. Hold the line where your call's coming up. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bitches. You're listening to the Men's Room.
Discussion on Reddit where people and probably some others share some innocent questions that someone asked basically that said, what question secretly crushed them a little bit inside? And here are a couple. And Steve, you already brought this up. When are you due?
Don't do it.
When the woman was not pregnant, it is not up to you to ever even have any idea about pregnancy unless you were the inseminator and have firsthand knowledge of this. Other than that,
Even then.
yeah. I mean, just
Even then, don't do it.
You know, don't do it. Don't look until you see the baby. Don't bring up anything about anything. Anything. I'm being dead serious. Like all kinds of things can happen, and sometimes it's just horrible what can possibly happen.
Well, either the kid's born or something horrible happened.
Exactly. There's one of two options.
And then even
here.
when the kid's born, something horrible can happen. Like, I just say nothing.
I have been
nothing. We had a
asked-
coworker that was so clearly pregnant for however many months, and none of us say anything. We're like, she's got to be pregnant, right? And Robin, I want to say it was finally like, hey guys, like everyone knows she's pregnant,
but we didn't know.
I'm like, but until she says something to me, I'm not saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. Because we also have a coworker that asked someone when they were due, and that particular person was not pregnant.
That is
Right?
true. And then there are people who are pregnant, and then you ask them about the baby, and then something bad happened.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So there's all until you see this kid, until you see this thing enter the earth, do not say a word. The next one. Do you have any friends besides us? Are you sick? You look sick when the person was not in fact sick. Or you just look like ass. You know what I mean? Like, why do you look so terrible?
I used to hear that a lot
hungover?
in my
no, I'm not hungover. Like, you hungover today? Like, no, why? Well, you look like ass.
I got it today.
What? You
Really?
hungover?
Yeah.
Why?
Because I get my eyes don't look the best with the allergies. They're
Okay.
Like, how
Oh,
hungover
so you're
are you? I was
stoned,
like, man,
or-
I was like, I haven't even had a drink in a while. Like, I'm all right.
Hold on, I'm going to write down who I'm guessing asked you this.
Yeah.
It's just my
Oh, no. It was just a buddy.
okay.
Just a random dude. I said,
Here's another question that bothers somebody. Hey, first day on the job? Person been working there for 10 years. And finally, as far as questions that secretly crushed them inside a little, are all penises that small?
Oh, geez.
Our question, when do
Yeah,
do
they
you or
are.
someone else dirty? 844-999. Oh, look, this is the first one you've ever seen, and they absolutely are.
Fellas, if someone asks you that, just say yes.
Right.
Just say yes.
Compared to the toys in a store, probably yes.
Yeah, just say yes they are. A couple of comments came in. It says, my husband, he was on a student that forgot her homework at home. He asked her, well, hey, what, did you forget your arms too? Because they were tucked up under her sleeves. What he didn't know, 3 weeks into the school year, she only had one arm.
Oh.
Surprise, surprise.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Oh, no.
Let's see. When did words do you dirty? I was trying to meet up with a pregnant friend of mine who was having a bad day, so I texted her, meet me in the Albertsons parking lot. Oh, my phone decided to autocorrect it to meet me in the abortion parking lot.
Oh, no.
And she has, I felt awful.
Oh, no.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah, autocorrect, man, should be more like auto-suggest.
Yeah. Yeah, they're...
I don't know if it's ever done anything than put it this way, I've had to explain a lot more than I should have had to. That proves to be problematic.
When do words do you or someone else dirty? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Brandon. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Happy 420, bitches.
Hola.
All right, so when words did me dirty, I was basically talking to one of my builders, and we were wiring a house, and he asked me, there's a truss that runs through the entire length of the house, and he asked me, can I run a wire through it? It was one of the first houses I'd ever done when I was running my own crew, so I, of course, told him, yes, no problem. Drill through the beam, run the wire, and about a week later, inspector tells him that he has to rip the whole entire roof off of the house to replace one beam.
What the hell happened?
Apparently, it's a load-bearing beam, so you can't drill through it, apparently. So since it supported the entire weight of the roof, they had to rip the roof off and replace that one beam. It cost the builder about $40,000.
Oh,
so literally 2 words, or 3 words, yes, I can, cost me about $40,000.
Good times.
Yes, I can.
I don't think that's what Barack was talking about.
No. Yeah, probably. That happens more often than not, though, man. Like, there's all these things that go wrong with NASA, and it seems like 50% of the time they're like, yeah, well, you know, when you build these things, you outsource to different companies are in different countries, and someone did the wrong conversion to metric to standard.
All right.
So they do these conversions. They don't realize what they've done until it's too late. So these things that are supposed to, like, lock into an orbit, it just keeps zipping off into space, or it smashes into the ground, and they realize, like, oh, we forgot. Because they go back and relook at everything.
Yeah.
Where did we go wrong? And they're like, here's this. Out of 15,000 steps, one of them, someone overlooked converting from metric to standard, and you're out like $500 million.
When do words do you or someone else dirty? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Brandon. Welcome to the men's room. Hello, Brandon.
Hola.
Hola.
All right, so there's a quote I used to use when messing with friends, and that was I would say your mother never loved you. Like when we get into arguments and stuff, it's just kind of a fun thing. And
always fun.
Oh yeah. And so I was at a bar once with my mom and my stepdad, and he said something. We were just kind of messing with each other, and I responded with, "Your mother never loved you." And immediately as I said it, remembered that his mother had passed away 2 weeks before that.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Did he look visibly upset?
So he's one of those guys that never really shows it, but I knew it kind of bothered him because he had just tried to make a flight out there to see her before she passed, and he, I think, missed it by a couple hours after getting off his flight. So he was,
okay.
Yeah, needless to say, I don't use that quote anymore.
I've been there with you. And honest to God, a very close friend of mine, her mother had passed, and I had gone to the funeral. I had to fly across the country to go to the funeral. About 2 months later, I'm back on the East Coast, and it's over New Year's, and we're at this party. I know maybe 3 people out of 40, something like that. But we're having a good enough time. Everyone's decent. But my friend whose mother had died, I don't remember. There's some kind of panic about something or whatever. I don't know, like he dropped something on the floor, turned around. They explained what all the commotion was about. And I'm like, good God, man, you're not like your mom just died or something. And as soon as I said it, I'm like, I cannot believe.
Those were the choices.
I just said that to the woman who had seen it only 2 months before that because her mom died, and I flew across it. Just like, oh, man. And the only thing that made it worse was the fact that everyone else at the party's looking at me.
Mm-hmm.
And I almost wanted to mouth like, I know. You know what I mean? Like, I know.
Yeah, I did the same thing at my buddy's, the rehearsal dinner. His father, sadly, had passed away a few years before that from cancer. And I used to tell this joke that's like an add-on to another joke about Horace walked into the bar saying, why the long face?
Right.
Says,
oh, God.
My wife has cancer.
Oh.
But as I tell the joke, his brother, the uncle is just staring at me. And I'm like, oh, man, wrong crowd.
Right.
Oh. Yeah, that one hurt.
Wow.
It happens to all of us.
When do words do you or someone else dirty? 844-999-OLA.
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.